Okay, my mic was on mute. Let's start that again. My name is Amor Alvarez, and I will be your host today. And on behalf of OMF Literature and Hiyas, we would like to welcome you to today's book launch. And before we begin, I'd like to introduce the publishing house that's made all of these things possible for us today, and that's OMF Literature Inc. It is the leading evangelical publisher and distributor of Christian books in the Philippines, specializing in books of inspiration, biblical instruction, and practical living. Hiyas is the children's imprint of OMF Literature and offers illustrated children's books on Christian values, health, and Bible stories, among others. And as you know, we are celebrating a very different kind of Manila International Book Fair. As they say, if you see the logo, we're right here at the Manila International Online Book Fair. We're not in Isle I, we are not in a convention center, but we are online. So this is going to be new. No more lining up long lines, but we are all here together online. And Hiyas is excited to launch 7 titles this year at MIBF. And today we are launching the Hiyas and Room to Read titles. Room to Read is an international nonprofit organization that promotes reading among young children around the world. Hiyas and Room to Read has published 5 picture books for beginning readers, all written in Filipino. These titles are Ang Kuya Kong Zombie, Invisible, Kaya ni Nina, Sakto Lang, at Tinola ni Nanay. I'm sure we will hear all about that in a little bit. But by the way, we will be having an online contest for all of our viewers, so please stay tuned until the end of the program to find out more about that. So now, let's get right to it. Let's call our first batch of authors and illustrators to present their titles. Let's call on Dr. Luis, Tito Doc Gatmaytan, Ivan Garciente, Ina Reyes, Mike Amante, Janina Marie Rivera, and Sai Vendeville. Welcome to our online session here at OMF Lit.
Salamat, Amor.
All right.
Glad to be here.
Okay. So we're going to get right to it. We're going to be going through a lot. We're also going to meet other authors and illustrators later on. So we'll get right to it. So again, hello, Tito Doc, Ivan, Mike, and Sai.
Hello.
I'm sure you're all excited to talk about your books. And so let's get started. We'll start with the authors first, the writers. I'd like to ask, your titles are very unique. Let's start by completing the sentence using the title of your book. All right? So let's get started. Let's start with Tito Doc. Ang Kuya Kong Zombie ay...
Ang kuya kong zombie ay isa palang napakahusay na call center agent at hindi siya nakakatakot, ha?
I have to say I love the title. It's so catchy, and yeah, there's the cover. Yan, Ang Kuya Kong Zombie. All right, very good. Thank you very much, Tito Doc. Next, let's ask Ina to answer to complete the sentence of her book.
Anong sentence?
Yan.
Ako naman sa start?
Pag invisible ako, yan.
Ano?
Pag invisible ako.
Pag invisible ako?
Yes.
Ibig sabihin, nakikita pa rin ako ng Diyos kahit invisible ako.
Wow.
Nice.
Very good. Good job. Thank you, Ina. Good job. Okay, now let's go to the next book, Kaya ni Nina by Janina. Janina, can you complete that sentence? Kaya ni Nina ang...
Kaya ni Mina ang magluto ng paella.
Uy, yung galing nun, ha?
Oo, nga. Talagang, may segue mamaya sa tinola. Okay, now, again, these titles are very, very unique, very, very cool. What were your first thoughts when you were selected to join the Room to Read Artists Workshop in Baguio last year? And how did you prepare for it? Tito Doc, can you go first?
I think yung sa amin sa Bohol, no? Yung sa mga
Okay.
illustrators yung sa Baguio, no? Well,
Okay.
excited kasi parang sa career namin biglang nagkaroon ng isang workshop na iipunin kami sa isang lugar at napaka-scenic pa ng place kasi it's the Bohol Bee Farm at ang sarap din ng pagkain doon, no? So parang ma-enhance yung aming creativity at ang aming alam mo yun, yung physical well-being ko dahil napaka-healthy ng food. Kaya welcome namin agad yung idea na sasama kami sa workshop na ito at gusto rin namin matuto, no, ng kung paano gagawin yung mga kwento namin using the Room to Read International pattern or module.
Wow, that's great. Were there anything that you had to do to prepare for that, yung to be in a group like that?
Well, alam mo, nakakatuwa kasi iba-iba kaming mga authors no? Iba-iba din yung ang pinanggalingan discipline, tapos siyempre dala-dala mo lahat yung karanasan mo na yon. So siguro yun lang yung baon namin, magbaon kami ng maraming creativity at harapin yung challenge kasi yung nakita naming challenge dito ay susulat kami ng kwento na 100 words lamang. Napaka-igsi nun, Amor, no? parang poetry, parang tula. Tapos ang difficult ang mahirap pa doon, ang challenging pala doon ay susulatin mo na may difficult topic in mind. So isang difficult topic for kids sa 100 words, ikakahon mo sa 100 words. So talagang medyo challenging yun para sa mga manunulat. And welcome namin yung challenge na yun. Ng room
So
series.
Tito Doc, how did you come up or how did you choose to tackle that topic or that theme?
Nung una, siyempre, iniisipan namin ano bang baon namin kwento, maaaring iba yung baon namin. Pero nung nandun na, of course, nung pinipresent na yung konsepto ng room to read, at nakita na namin, we need to tackle difficult topics for kids. Ang dami kasi po pwedeng talakayan, no? Andiyan yung mga cases ng pwedeng autism, disability, maraming pwedeng talakayan. Yung personally ako, nakita ko kasi yung addiction ng mga bata sa mga gadgets. Lalo, di ba, yung online addiction sa mga gadgets. At ito nga din yung naglayo sa mga bata para magbasa ng libro. No? Hindi naman talaga masama ang technology. No? Kaya lang minsan nagagamit siya ng mali rin yung mga iba, no? Kasi nagkakaroon ng abuse of the technology. At may isang survey na ginawa ang National Council for Children's Television. Sabi ng mga nanay, ang mga bata daw ngayon ay talagang addict na sila sa mga gadget. At ang tawag nga niya sa anak niya ay parang ng zombie nga, anak ko, hindi na kumakain, hindi na natutulog, hindi na naliligo. So kaya ko naisip yung kwento na ang kuya kong zombie.
Oo nga. Wow. I'm sure our readers are going to look forward to catching the wonderful art and the wonderful story dito sa itong new book, ang Kuya Kong Zombie. Let's ask Ina naman. Ina, tell us about the story that you wrote and yun nga, how did you come to choose to tackle that topic and that theme?
Mm-hmm. Ito yung book ko, yung Invisible. This is about little boy, si Botong. Number 8 siya sa family, pang-walo siyang anak. So, gusto niya yung
True to life ba yan, Ina? True to life ba yan?
Yeah.
True to life?
Wala kami magkakapatid, actually. So, hinahanap niya yung attention ng mga nakatatanda ng kapatid at saka syempre ng mga magulang niya. Pero syempre sila kasi busy din sila with their own lives. So, si Butong had to do something to get their attention. Yun. Kasi nung nag-workshop kami, ang isang ni-remind sa amin always is, may problema yung bata, pero dapat siya din ang mag-solve ng problema niya. Ganon. Yun. Tapos, yung message na gusto kong iparating sa Invisible is, walang batang invisible. Bawat bata mahalaga. Yun. Yun ang gusto kong message na iparating. And, yun. So, yun. Kaya ako pinili.
Oh, that's great. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, how about Janina naman? Janina, can you tell us a little bit about your story and how you chose to tackle that topic and theme?
Okay, with the book Kaya ni Mina, yung nangyari kasi was there were two earlier stories that two different plots that I tried to push forward, pero hindi yan na I mean, in the workshop kasi, diba, there's this process wherein your people around you, the other writers, they really give their thoughts, and then And it's a good learning experience. So from there, I was really thinking hard, no, what other topic can I do? And so I chose something close to my heart, which was disability. Si Mina kasi po, she's fully blind, and yet she's capable of doing things like clean the house, cook lugaw, take care of her sister, catch a cat, and that's something that is close to me because I myself, as a writer, I'm partially blind. So in many ways, Nina is a version of me, but her disability is times two
Oh,
because my blindness is just one half, pero si Nina full. So yeah, there's a level of me in that book.
kaya
So
pala Janina, si Nina. Nina?
Kaya ni Janina.
Kaya ni Janina.
Oo, kaya ni Janina.
Kaya ni Nina.
Kaya
Kaya
ni
rin ni Janina.
Ano mo?
Oo nga, correct.
Parang,
So,
nag,
again,
parang nag-freeze si Janina.
oh,
Oo nga eh.
I'm sure she will be back. So anyway, going back, Tito Doc, how about the process of having yung 5 days nga lang na yun? How were you able to compress? So from the beginning to the end of the book was done in 5 days?
Kasi
Yeah, yeah.
Amor kasi talagang yung mga experts natin from Adarna House, OMF Literature, from Anvil Publishing and Lampara, pumunta doon, may lectures, may mga sharing, no? Tapos binigyan din kami ng mga techniques ni Mr. Al Santos, itong Southeast Asia Manager ng Room to Read, ng mga narrative devices. Paano ba namin i-approach yung aming mga kwento? Kahit medyo matagal na rin kami nagsusulat, kakaiba rin itong proseso. Natuwa kami kasi biruin mo 100 words, napakaigsi nun. Kumbaga parang half page lang yun sa isang manuscript. At gagawa namin talaga ng kwento, piling-pili yung mga salita. So in a sense, parang stories in a capsule ito, no? Capsulized stories. Parang tula, parang poetry, no? Piling-pili yung salita. And then we really have to think about the illustrations then while we're doing the story. Kaya sa tingin ko napakalaki ng role ng mga illustrators dito sa ginawa naming workshop kasi yung 100 words namin, nagbuo dapat yung kwento na maipapahayag mo lahat. Kailangan lapatan ng napakahusay na illustrations. Kaya siguro yung mga illustrator namin takang-taka, ang igsi naman ng kwento, no? Tapos isang aklat na napakaraming pages ang gagawin, no? So yun kasi yung naging proseso namin doon sa Room to Read. At we're up for the challenge talaga, kaya talagang tinanggap namin.
Okay. All right. How about you, Ina? How was it like to write a whole story in 5 days?
Actually, Amor, we wrote 2 stories,
Oh,
during
wow.
that workshop. Yeah. And one was selected.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, oo. So ang ano is, I think ang big help kasi we were divided in teams. So we are the Hiyas team. So merong part of the day na the team meets together and then we critique our works. Like we critique the topic and then we critique kung ano na yung mga naisulat. So nakakatulong yon. So yung nabuong kwento, hindi lang ako yon, kundi may inputs ni Mr. Al Santos, may inputs ng other writers of the team. At syempre, mahalaga yung participation talaga, yung support ni Joanna na, our editor, our team leader, and si Nixon na, the real life partners, both in life and in book publishing.
Oo nga.
Yeah, saludo ko kay Joanna, Nicolas na, at kay Nix na. Yeah. Help nila sa amin during the process.
Shout out Joanne and Nix. Wish you were here. They're watching, I'm sure. How about you, Janina? If you are you with us?
yeah,
How was it like to write the story in like 5 days?
oh, a lot of pressure, but a lot of food to your brain. And
Okay, I think we're getting some connection problems with Janina. Let's go on to our artists naman kasi we're also in a bit of a time limit. Let's go with Ivan. Ivan, complete the sentence using the title of your book. Ang kuya kong zombie ay
Ang kuya kong zombie ay ako. Ako pala yung zombie. Kasi ako yung kuya sa bahay namin. At wala rin akong zombie sa work.
Oo nga, no? Minsan, we're all doing all the work, parang tayo na rin ng zombie. Okay. How about you, Mike? Mike, complete the title. Invisible ako pag...
Invisible ako. Uh,
Kaya mo yan,
sorry.
Pag nagdudugan.
Invisible ako pag may party. Oh. Grabe.
Oo, good answer. Good answer.
Oo, introvert kasi, di ba, mga introverts, invisible talaga.
Okay. How about you, Sai? Kaya ni Mina ang...
Kaya ni Minang maging superhero kasi kaya niya lahat.
Oo nga. Oo nga. It's amazing story. If you read the rest, you'll get why Sai said that. Ngayon, let's talk about this part in the book. No, what were your first thoughts when you were selected to join Room to Read Artists Workshop sa Baguio, and how did you prepare for that? Ivan, can you share with us kung ano yung naisip mo during that time?
Well, yung pagka-imbita pa lang nung nalaman namin kung sino yung mga kasama rin na magiging mga illustrator na makakasama namin, big time yung mga kasama namin dun. So, it's an honor na ma-imbita. Tapos, syempre yung mentors namin, si Miss Liza at saka si Kuya Robert. Syempre, alam namin na nasa okay kaming mga kamay sa pag-guide sa amin dun sa workshop na yon. Tapos siguro to prepare, maging open ka lang sa lahat kasi usually sa illustration, solo mo ginagawa yung work mo, pero this time meron kang mga mentors na gagabay sa'yo. So maging open ka lang din sa comments at dun sa comments ng team mo. Pero sa OMF team, okay kami lahat kasi lahat nagtulungan kami para magawa yung kailangan gawin.
All right. Thank you very much, Ivan. How about you, Mike? What were your first thoughts when you were invited to Room to Read and Hiyas?
I was excited and nervous then at the same time. Excited kasi I get to work. I get to make a children's book alongside with a lot of good authors and writers din. Tapos nervous din kasi we have to finish the book like in a short amount of time. That's yan.
Oo nga. How about you, Sai?
Yeah, pretty much the same. It was definitely an exciting opportunity. Kaya lang parang hindi ka rin sure. Like, ako to be honest, I wasn't really prepared when I was jumping in. Like, parang, you know what, I'll just accept whatever's gonna happen. Parang ganun. And to be honest, it was a fun ride. I'm happy to be part of the Hiyas team. Marami rin akong natutunan along the way.
Oh, wow. That's great. Okay.
Right, kasi pati, the artist, at the beginning, the artist thought na meron isang makakaalis eh.
Ay, oo, yeah. There was this condition na not everyone's gonna get, may process kasi siya, so not everyone's gonna push through. So yeah, may added pressure. Kaya lang, parang later on, I'm not sure kung what convinced them. I guess it's because maganda lang yung environment talaga and maganda lahat ng story. So parang it's really hard to decide. So you know what? Let's just let everyone push through. Parang ganun.
Wow. That's great. That's an amazing process na may ganun pala no, parang ano ba yung parang mga reality show.
O parang
Kung may camera daw tayo, may mga zoom in moments yan sigurado.
parang may nag-record eh.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity.
Oh boy. Okay, let's talk about the characters, the character design of these stories that you created. Can you tell us your pegs and your inspirations dun sa mga illustrations that you did? Ivan, can you share about that?
So para dun sa kuya kong zombie, so, ito, kuya kong zombie, sa kanyang maliit na version, yung character design ko binati ko sa ang pinaka-idea ko dun, gusto ko sana magmukha rin siyang parang game. So, mahirap mag-illustrate syempre din ng zombie kasi kailangan natin balansehin yung parang horror element, ganyan. Pero heartwarming yung story. So, para sa akin, yung character design ni Kuya, para siyang digital character. So, kung mapapansin niyo dun sa illustration, kung meron kayong kopya, meron siya mga parang fractal elements na laging gumagalaw kapag nung naka-zombie mode pa siya, tapos umiilaw din yung mata niya. So, para siyang character sa game.
All right. Cool. How about you, Mike? How did you come up with these characters?
Para sa Invisible, inuna ko muna si Botong. So si Botong based siya sa kay Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes.
Yes.
So parang na-imagine ko na parang
I
gusto
see
niya
that.
talaga magpapansin. I mean, so parang ganun. So nakita ko yun kay Calvin. So incorporate ko some of his appearance dun kay Botong. Tapos ang one of my inspiration then for the book is my brothers and sisters din kasi I'm the eldest of 6. Kaya
wow.
sobrang nakaka-relate ako dun sa story. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mike. How about you, Sai? How did you come up with the ideas for your character design and your pegs?
Ito yung tsura ng characters para lang may visual tayo. So, ako naman, knowing na yung main character is yun nga, blind siya. I kind of wanted to go with the direction na parang siguro hindi naman kailangan sobrang representational lahat. Kaya lang, ang challenge kasi nun is kailangan rin familiar pa rin siya with anyone else who's gonna read. So I tried to be more playful with the colors. Kaya lang at the same time, and also try to like add some texture to it. Kasi parang kailangan may pagka-sensory talaga yung entire experience of reading the book. So ayun, mostly, yun ang nangyari sa art at saka dun sa decisions ko. But yung characters parang medyo mas mukha silang, medyo may hawig sila sa fruits. Mga ganon.
Okay. That's an interesting peg. Thank you, Sai. Okay. I'd like to go back to the authors again, no, the writers. Can you, siguro, as we also wrap up, what kind of advice can you give to the writers out there who would like to get started and writing under extreme time pressure? Tito Doc, go ahead.
Okay, ay sa tingin ko yung pag talagang under extreme pressure ka, mas nagiging creative ka. Parang nagbi-breed ng creativity yung pressure, no? Kasi alam mo na you have to produce something and so parang lalong nagiging kang malikain, ano? Kumbaga ito yung stress na positive stress, di ba maraming klase ng stress, no? Pero ito yung stress na nagpo-produce ng good result. And sa tingin ko, nakatulong din nasa isa kaming scenic place na kagaya ng Bohol. Baka kaya doon naisip ni Al Santos na dali ng authors para talaga makatulong din yung lugar. Magandang hangin, masarap yung food namin, puro organic, so magka-agree lahat ng mga writers. Kaya ang feeling namin na hindi pa mapili yung kwento namin. Kasi kung may pressure sa mga illustrators, sa mga authors, may pressure din na pipiliin lang hindi kasi lahat ng kwento ay papasok. No? Sabi namin, hindi man mapili yung mga stories namin. Panalo na kaming lahat dito kasi para kaming may kasamang vacation na partly parang may bakasyon na rin dahil andun ka sa Bohol Bee Farm at napakasarap ng food. So nagtulong-tulong yung environment at saka yung siguro nga yung talagang pag napipressure ka, nagpo-produce ka ng magandang result. At siyempre, ginay din tayo ng Lord na mag-produce tayo ng isang story na magagamit ng mga bata.
So it's a good kind of cramming, ano? Cramming. How about you, Ina? Any advice that you have for aspiring writers and even working under time pressure?
I think isa sa mga importanteng bagay talaga is laging isipin para kanino itong ginagawa ko at para saan ito. So that pag nandiyan na yung mga problema, alam mo na dapat kong gawin ito kasi mga bata ang magbabasa nito at magiging libro ito. So I think that will really get you through pag clear sa yung objective. Always think of the child when you write a story.
Right. Thank you, Ina. Janina, are you with us?
Yes, I am. Sorry, really bad connection. But yes, to answer the question, think from experience. It lessens the research time and also it's good to ask questions. Like I was very privileged to be around Ate Ina, Tito Doc, and I asked them a lot of questions. You know, actually, ang dami, even with the other writers, si Randy, I mean, those from the other publishing houses, you know, it's really good to learn from those around you, learn from those with more experience. So, yeah, budding writers can do that.
Mm-mm. Thank you very much, Janina. Let's go on to our illustrators naman. What kind of advice can you give or suggestions for aspiring artists and how they can also draw under pressure? Lalo na kayong mga artists, minsan you take time, di ba? Pero if you're given such a short time, how can you deal with that? Ivan, can you go first?
Okay, sa pagdating sa pag-face ng time pressure, usually tinitingnan siya na parang negative thing, no? Pero I think kailangan nating reframe yung pagtingin natin dun sa sitwasyon, tapos tingnan siya as an opportunity. Kasi with dun sa pressure na yon, dun sinusubok yung limit mo kung hanggang saan yung kaya mong i-figure out. At yun yung I think crucial sa creative thinking kasi dahil dun sa pressure na yon, napupwersa ka ngayon tumingin dun sa problem sa iba't ibang angle at hanapin kung ano yung pinakatamang solution na mag-fit dun sa creative problem. So maganda siyang opportunity para i-push yung sarili.
Alright. Okay. Thank you, Ivan. How about you, Mike?
For me, when tackling like a big project like this, I kind of take it like one step at a time. So kung kwardo, I set like a few pages, dapat ganito matapos ko. Tapos yan, pag naabot ko na, ano pa yung susunod na gagawin? Tapos yan, that's my way of coping. And I guess makatulong din yon sa mga artists din na who has to do a project then in a short amount of time.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you plan ahead then, no? You set targets for yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. How about you, Sai? Any advice for young artists and dealing with time pressure?
The thing is, if you don't have a lot of time, it definitely pressures you in a good way to like think about what really matters in your work. Like, kasi let's be honest, we always want to make like the most perfect piece of art. Kaya lang sometimes kasi hindi naman everything about it is necessary. Sometimes it being finished and it being produced is enough. So parang to put on top of everything that everyone has said talaga, I feel like a good thing talaga yung time pressure kasi it really makes you think about your work and what really matters. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, guys. I know what Sai is talking about. Minsan, you have to know when to stop. Diba?
Yes.
You don't realize minsan you're already doing too much or ano. So that's good. Yeah. Very good advice. So all the authors, all of the illustrators out there, take note, and I know you will learn a lot more when you apply the tips that our illustrators and our writers shared with us today. So thank you so much for being here, Tito Doc, Ivan, Ina, Mike, Janina, and Sai. Gawin nating medyo ibang invitation sa ating mga viewers. Can we ask Tito Doc and Ivan to invite them to buy Invisible? Then Ina and Mike to invite our viewers to buy Kaya ni Mina. And lastly, si Janina and Sai can say an invitation to buy ang Kuya Kong Zombie. Okay, so parang cross-promotion tayo ngayon. All right, let's start with Tito Doc and Ivan.
Okay. So, ini-invite ko kayo na bilhin yung aklat na Invisible. Napakaganda po ng aklat na to. Yung kwentong sinulat ni Miss Ina Reyes at ginuhit ni Mike Amante. Ayan. At sana po, bilhin natin to at pinapangako namin sa inyo na hindi na kayo magiging invisible kapag binasa nyo itong ano. Yung message nyo mararamdaman, hindi na kayo magiging invisible.
Yes,
para sa akin naman supportahan yung libro na Invisible kasi bukod sa napakagandang kwento, yung illustrations ni Mike ay nagpapakita talaga ng kung ano ang pakiramdam ng isang taong naiisang tabi So kung gusto niyo magturo sa mga anak niyo or sa mga bata ng empathy, crucial na makita yon sa shoes nung character mismo. At yun yung successfully nagawa ni Mike at ni Ina dun sa kwento nila.
Thank you, Luis and Ivan.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
Ina and Mike naman.
Kaya ni Nina, no? Right? Yeah. Ang Kaya ni Nina po ay isang napakagandang kwento na nagpapakita ng abilidad ng isang bata in spite of a disability. So kung gusto niyo pong turuan ang inyong mga anak kung paano magpursige in spite of challenges, bilhan niyo po ng kopya ng Kaya ni Nina. Magandang libro.
Thank you, Ina. Mike?
Okay. For me, supportahan niyo yung Kaya ni Nina Janina, pati ni Sai. It's a really good book. It also teaches you na people with disability are normal persons lang din sila. And also maganda rin yung artwork ni Sai. So, yeah.
All right. Thank you, Mike. Okay, now to Janina and to Sai.
Okay, everyone, please buy the book of Tito Doc, Luis Gatmaitan, illustrated by Ivan Reverende, Ang Kuya Kong Zombie. If you don't want you or your kuya to remain zombie or to be zombies, please read the book.
Okay. And you, Sai?
I'd really recommend that you pick up yung libro nila na Ang Kuya Kong Zombie. Kasi, to be honest, the themes in itself, I feel like it's very relatable, especially in this age talaga. Tapos, I feel like it could extend a bit more. It could teach children way more because it's ultimately about addiction. And I feel like you can learn a lot about empathy in regards with people with addiction with this story talaga. And to be honest, I really love Ivan's art in it.
Yes, I second that.
Paki-mind na lang po. Paki-mind lang sa comment.
All right. Thank you again to all of our authors, all of our illustrators. A big round of applause for all of you out there in internet land. These books are all available at 20% off from November 24 to 30 and available at manilabookfair.com or at shop.omflit.com. Enjoy also other OMF Lit books, Bibles, and Hiyas books at 20% off, selected titles at 80% off, and exciting gift bundles. Follow us on Facebook at OMF Lit and Hiyas Books. Now, before we call on our next guests, I will explain the online contest for our viewers. And the best three to comment their answers creatively will win a set of Hiyas and Room to Read books. Ito yung mga tanong. And siguro you can take a cue from our authors and our illustrators. So you just have to complete the sentence. Ang kuya kong zombie ay, that's the first one. The second, pag invisible ako, yan, fill in the blank. Kaya ni Nina ang, yan, next, fill in the blank. And then sakto lang ang, yan, fill in the blank again. And ang tinola ni nanay ay, yan, fill in the blank. And an OMF Lit representative will contact the winners. Don't go away. We have our second batch of authors and illustrators in a short while. So while you're waiting, start thinking up those sentences, the complete sentences to the titles that we just mentioned. So we'll be right back. And again, thank you to all of our authors and our illustrators. Thank you guys for having us. Having you guys. We'll be having the next batch of authors and illustrators in a little bit.
Thank you, Amor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Salamat kayo.
Hello everyone. I'm Luis Gatmaitan and I'm the author of Ang Kuya Kong Zombie, isang libro tungkol sa online gaming addiction na talamak sa mga kabataan ngayon. This is illustrated by Ivan Reverende and published by OMF Hiyas for Room to Read International. Available na po itong mga aklat na ito sa ongoing Manila International Online Book Fair happening on November 24 up to November 30, 2020. At mabibili po ang mga aklat na ito sa manilabookfair.com, sa OMF Lit Bookshop, sa online store ng OMF Literature, ang shop.omflit.com, at sa mga flagship stores po ng Shopee at Lazada. So, tangkilikin ang aklat na to, huwag kayong magpaka-zombie. Happy reading!
All right, we're back. So let's call on our next batch of artists and writers. Let's call on Joshine Bersales, Doms Agsaway, Maloy Malibiran Salumbides, and Felix Mago Miguel to present their titles. So welcome you guys for joining us.
Hi, Amor. Hello, everyone.
Malinaw ba?
Yes. Okay.
Maybe I need to go near.
Yan. Okay, let's start with our writers and let's learn more about their books. But before we get into that, let's do what the first batch did. Complete the sentence using the title of your book. Okay? So you know the titles of your books. Let's start with Joshine. Sakto lang.
Sakto lang. Sakto lang ang dami ng tinolang manok na kinain ko kagabi.
Wow.
Wow. Alam mo yung tinolang yan, talagang yan ang keyword for the day.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. How about Maloy? Ang tinola ni Nanay ay?
Ang tinola ni Nanay ay kayang lutuin ni Mina. Kasi kin-cross-promote kanina ni Janina. Mamaya yung sakto lang, iko-cross-promote ko rin yan.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Maloy. Now, let's learn more about the book. Joshine, can you tell us a bit about the story you wrote and why you chose to tackle that particular topic and theme?
Okay. So yung sakto lang, tungkol ito sa isang pamilya na kailangan mag-budget kasi bibili sila ng mga gamit para sa eskwela. Pero yung pera nila, sakto lang talaga dun sa kailangan nilang bilhin. So, kailangan magdesisyon nung dalawang magkapatid, si kuya at saka yung bunso, kung sino yung makakakuha ng bag, sino yung makakakuha ng sapatos, sino yung makakakuha ng notebook. So, gusto ko sanang ipakita dito na ang mga bata, meron silang, parang natural sa kanila yung generosity. And at the same time, kaya nilang mamili, kaya nilang gumawa ng decisions. Of course, with the guidance of their parents or guardians.
Kailangan yan ngayon ng mga bata na they will know how to be generous and learn how to budget. How about you, Maloy? Can you tell us a little bit about the story tsaka yung coming up with the topic?
Yan. Itong tinola ni Nanay ay istorya naman ni Kaloy. Si Kaloy ay, ayan, pati si Felix. Buti meron kang ganyan, Felix.
Para lumaki,
version na sa'yo. Yung mother version na sa akin. Ayan. Ang tinola ni Nanay ay isang istorya ni Kaloy. Isang bata na ang nanay niya ay nakapiit sa bilangguan. Hindi ko na kinuwento kung bakit siya nakapiit sa bilangguan. Pwede nang patakbuhin ng bata yung kanyang isipan kung bakit na-detain si nanay. Pero pinapakita na kahit na meron tayong isang mahal sa buhay na nakadetene sa bilangguan, nagpapatuloy ang buhay, nagpapatuloy ang paglago ng isang bata. At yung influence ng magulang, kahit pa siya ay nabilanggo, nagpapatuloy din sa buhay ng kanyang anak. So yung tinola ni Nanay, mababasa ninyo kung ano yung naging bahagi noon sa buhay ni Kaloy at ano ang kaugnayan noon sa buhay ni Nanay na nasa loob ng pihitan.
Very interesting yan, Maloy. Baka pwedeng maging series yan. Baka may prequel kung paano nangyari yon and then sequel kung anong mangyari after kung baka she gets out or something, di ba?
Oo, pwede nga. Pero alam mo, very challenging talaga kasi sabi nga ni Tito Doc kanina, di ba, 120 words lang yung pwede naming isulat doon sa kabuuan ng istorya. Nung una nito, talagang gusto kong ilagay kung ano yung dahilan ng pagkakapiit sa bilangguan ni Nanay. Kaya lang, pinatanggal na siya ni Sir Al, ni Kuya Al Santos, ang sabi niya, let's make it a day in the life of a boy whose mother or whose parent is inside the prison. Kaya, ano yan, ang daming edit nito. Nako, napakaraming version ng 120 words na yon.
Oo nga. All right. Joshine, can you tell us what kind of advice can you give to writers who are writing under extreme pressure like you did? How can you give advice to them?
Well, una sa lahat, don't panic. Kapag binigyan kayo, halimbawa meron kayong commission project or meron lang kayong hinahabol na deadline, first instinct kasi natin is magpapanik tayo. Oh no, hindi ko ito magagawa. Kapag nangyari yun, hindi mo na talaga siya magagawa. So, do it one sentence at a time. So, pwedeng buuin mo muna yung kwento sa isip mo or gawin mo yung outline, isulat mo. Pero wag ka magpapakulong doon. Kung saan kadali ng kwento mo, sundan mo lang siya. Yun. Tapos kung talaga nahihirapan ka, wag kang mahihiyang humingi ng tulong. Nandyan yung ibang writers, nandyan yung editor mo, nandyan yung pwede ka magtanong sa mga kaibigan mo na pinagkakatiwalaan mo. Para, ang writing kasi iniisip natin na solo activity siya, which in a way, tama naman. Pero at the same time, you can also work as a community na makakakuha ka ng tulong for brainstorming sa paggawa ng concepts. Ayun. So, huwag ka mahihiyang lumapit sa iba para magpatulong. Yeah.
Thank you, Joshine. I really like this concept of collaboration and working together. I think it's a wonderful thing, especially among artists and writers. How about you, Maloy? What kind of advice can you give to writers writing under extreme pressure?
Oo, importante yung sinabi ni Joshine kanina, no, na wag mong salohin yung bigat ng project na iyong ginagawa because we have a whole lot of a community to learn from. Grabe, Amor, yung mga nakasama namin. Nung dumating nga kami sa Bohol Bee Farm, nanliit ako kasi ang mga kasama namin palang ka-awardees, yung ang dami-dami ng libro na naisulat, ako pangalawang children's book ko pa lang ito. So sabi ko, am I in the right group? Bakit ako napasama dito? But really, just being selected or invited to be part of that workshop was already a privilege in itself. Sabi ko, kahit hindi mapili yung aking maisusulat, okay na. Winner na ako dito kasi pagkain pa lang sa Bohol Bee Farm, sold na. Pero sorry sa mga taga Baguio kasi ang balita natin, hindi kasi sarap yung
Sarap salad sa bee farm.
Puro salad, grabe. At saka yung inspiration ng tinola ni Nanay, isa yon sa mga kinain namin sa Bohol Bee Farm. Kaya nung last day, na kailangan namin mag-submit ng kung ano ang isusulat, nauubusan na ako ng ideya. Sabi ko, ano ba pwede ko isulat tungkol sa tinola ni Nanay at naipanganak nga ito. Now, going back to your question, ano ang aking payo doon sa mga nais na magsulat? Meron tayong mga dream stories, hindi ba? But sometimes we have to let go of our dream and allow other people to work with us para higit na mapaganda at mapasarap yung putahe na iyong isusulat. So, huwag tayong masyadong kapit doon sa storya natin kasi magdadala si God ng mga tao, mahuhusay na editors, mahuhusay na mga fellow writers para magbigay sa atin ng mga payo at huwag tayong masasaktan. Kasi bahagi siya ng paglago. When they critic your work, accept it because they really want to bring out the best in you. At yun yung aking naging karanasan dito sa workshop na ito kung saan naipanganak ang tinola ni Nanay.
Yan. Oo nga, I agree with you, Maloy, na sometimes the creative process really involves the pruning and the trimming away and the addition of things that you did not even think of. But in the end, it all comes together in a wonderful broth of tinola. Diba? So, yes. That's great. Thank you, Maloy. Now, let's go on to sa mga artists naman natin. Katulad ng ginawa ng ating mga authors, complete yung sentence. Please complete the sentence. Doms, sakto lang ang...
Sakto lang ang exhibit ng ang ink at canvas tungkol sa climate change ngayong panahon dito.
Naka-advertise pa.
Okay,
Para.
thank you. Maraming salamat, Doms. Ikaw naman, Felix.
Thank you.
Ang tinola ni nanay ay kaya nang lutuin ni Bunso. Kasi recently, nagluto ng spaghetti yung bunso namin. It was his first time. Yung tinola, hopefully, susunod niya nang matutunang lutuin.
Okay, ayos. Ngayon, katulad just like the writers, no, I know very tight din yung timeline na you were given. But illustrating a children's book goes through maraming proseso, di ba? How are you able to compress yung character designing, storyboarding, revisions, all in a matter of 5 days? Doms, can you share paano mo nagawa lahat? Paano mo napagkasya lahat?
I have to observe kasi yung very tight deadline kasi 5 days lang talaga siya to create yun, storyboard, character designs. And then, yung nangyari kasi sa akin, gumigising ako ng sobrang aga. Kasi nagwo-workout rin ako with Jomai sa gabi. So, I have to compress everything rin. Tapos, gising ka ng umaga, gising ka rin nagpapahinga ako saglit ng gabi, then you have to wake up na naman to create something. Tapos, yung para lang makaabot talaga dun sa deadlines and then may pasa mo siya dun sa mismong morning ng event.
So talagang paspasan lahat, no?
Oo, paspasan talaga.
How about you, Felix? Paano nyo naman napagkasya lahat yung lahat ng paggawa ng libro in 5 days?
I think sa akin would be, I was in a very dynamic group. So admittedly, I'm among the not so young anymore dun sa mga illustrators. So kaya may pressure kasi ang bibilis nila magtrabaho and admittedly, yung grupo ng Hiyas talagang very prolific. So kaya it was an inspiration to be with the group and I will say it again now na I'm also honored to be among the Hiyas team. Marami rin ako natutunan kahit na medyo may uban na ako kumpara sa mga to. It was really fun being with them. With a lot of sharing, a lot of mentoring, and a lot of bagong ideas pa actually. So kaya nagkasya yung 5 days. Kasi pag wala ka doon sa Baguio, I think it will take me longer to finish the process. Kasi nga iba yung nasa bahay ka and you feel a little more relaxed or madidistract, pero nandun ka, kinulong kayo, hindi naman talaga kinulong, pero you were in a place na yun lang ang focus, and then you have a set of dynamic illustrators from the Hiyas team and the other teams, may inspire ka, and totoo naman, I was inspired in that session. Kaya medyo admittedly, yung tinola ni nanay, iba doon sa usual na ginagawa ko. So, kaya thank you dun sa Team Hiyas.
Alright. Maraming salamat. Balik ako kay Doms naman. Ano ang fondest memory mo dyan sa project nyo dito sa itong libro na to? Anong fondest memory nyo?
Well, masasabi ko talaga yung buong 1 week na yun. It's really fun with your mentors, nandun yung mga seniors, yan, Sir Felix. And then, pero yung pinaka-fondest talaga, yung time na nag-take kami ng rest, and then we went out with our fellow illustrators rin. Punta kami ng Burnham Park, then with people that you are inspired of. Tapos may kasama rin kaming Chinese illustrator, may mga natutunan rin kami from her. Pero pinaka nakakatawang nangyari doon, may isang illustrator na sinabi doon sa may Chinese illustrator, this is the haunted house. This is the most haunted place in the Philippines. Which is just a joke, pero yeah, it's really fun get together during that time, eating strawberry ice cream and just having fun kahit may deadline kami next day.
Oo. Yung mga ganyang moments, I think that's very important dun sa creative process nga, no? To help inspire you. How about you, Felix? Ano ang memorable moment mo dun?
Medyo nasabi ko na kanina actually in a sense, kasi nga yung grupo, habang gumagawa kayo, nag-share kayo ng exchange ng notes, sharing ideas. So, over and above pa doon sa sinishare ng facilitator. So, kaya to me, yung sessions was really unforgettable. Of course, isisingit ko na rin yung sinabi ni Dom na we went out, we had some fun. No? Pero I think yung pinakamaganda was yung grupo was so into it. Alam mo yon, yung even if it was really tiring, you go take your dinner and tired, pero pag higa mo sa kwarto mo, you feel happy kasi you're being blessed with these wonderful people with you. And I'm very thankful to the Lord na they were with me, I was with them, and we were learning all the way. So I think yun yung pinakamaganda. For 5 days, it was a truly a blessing of 5 days where we enjoy, we learn, and we work hard, and hopefully the Lord was smiling at us all the way when we were doing the project.
Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure the Lord is smiling down on all of you, on all of these books, to be a big blessing sa lahat ng taong magbabasa nito. All right. So, thank you for being here, Joshine, Dons, Maloy, and Felix. Gawin din natin yung ginawa ng cross promotion kanina, yung ng first batch. Can we ask si Joshine at si Dons to invite them to buy yung tinola ni Nanay, sila Maloy and si Felix to invite viewers to buy. Sakto lang. All right, Joshine, start it off.
Okay, I'm inviting everyone to get your copies of Tinola ni Nanay. It's a very heartwarming story. At nakakagutom din siya. So, sigurado ako pagkatapos ng basahin yung libro, maghahanap kayo ng tinolang manok.
Okay. Doms.
Ayan. I'm inviting everyone to kasi available na yung tinola ni Nanay. Nung tinitignan ko yung illustrations ni Sir Felix, it's really yummy, talaga nakakagutom, tama si Joshua. And then it's really a heartwarming story. Available na siya.
All right. Thank you, Doms. Ngayon, now on to you, Maloy.
Thank you, Joshine and Doms. Sa ating mga viewers ngayon, mga nanay at saka mga bata at mga tatay, ang sakto lang ni Joshine at Joms ay saktong-saktong pangregalo ngayong Pasko at saktong-sakto rin para sa budget ninyo. Kaya kuha na kayo. Discounted pa yan habang may MIDF. Kaya kuha na kayo ng inyong mga kopya ng sakto lang hanggang November 30.
All right. Very good, Maloy. Thank you. Felix?
Again, iniimbitahan po namin kayo na huwag niyo pong kakalimutan ang sakto lang ni Joshine at ni Doms. Katulad po ng sinabi ni Maloy, pag bibili po kayo ng sakto lang, hindi niyo po mararamdaman na kulang o sobra kasi sakto lang. And yung storya po, talagang ma-inspire po kayo na kahit na gaano kahirap ang buhay, gaano kadaming challenges, the Lord will always provide sakto lang palagi.
All right. Thank you very much. Sakto talaga. You know, all of these books are at 20% off from November 24 to 30 and available at manilabookfair.com or at shop.omflit.com. Enjoy other OMF Lit books, Bibles, and Hiyas books at 20% off, selected titles at 80% off, and other exciting gift bundles. Ngayon, let me repeat yung mechanics ng online contest natin kanina. The best 3 to comment their answers creatively will win a set of Hiyas and Room to Read books. Ito yung mga kailangan yung i-complete na sentences. Again, ang kuya kong zombie ay, complete. Ang invisible, pag invisible ako, yan, complete that. Kaya, kaya ni Nina ang, yan, complete that. And sakto lang ang, and ang tinola ni Nanay ay, yan. So, come up with your interesting, creative answers, fill in the blanks, and then write it down in the comments, and an OMF Lit representative will contact you. So again, thank you for spending your time with us. Thank you to all of our
Thank
artists,
you.
all of our writers. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook at OMF Lit and Hiyas Books for more updates. Again, this is the Manila International Online Book Fair, and you are here at OMF Literature. We'll hope to see you in the next few days. God bless you all.
Thank
you.
you.
God bless.
Thanks,
Thank
Amor.
you.
Bye, Felix, Joshine,
Bye-bye.
Dom.
Bye.
God bless
Bye.
you.
Bye-bye, everyone.
God bless everyone.
God bless.
God bless.